Lishima Classic Media, we can brand your brand. From backdrops to roll-up banners, vinyl and PVC banners, gazebo tents, t-shirt printing, flag banners, business cards. Get branded with Lishima Classic Media today, because here at Lishima Classic Media, we're doing it the right way.
Are you looking for the best aerial cinematography to capture your environment from above in 4K? Well, look no further. At LCM TV, we've got you covered with our professional drone and pilot that will enable you to shoot from unique perspectives. We deliver breathtaking shots with different recording modes such as photos, videos, panorama, time-lapse, and many more. For more info, contact the numbers on your screen. Get the best area shots with LCM TV.
And now the news in detail. Health Minister Honorable Dr. Alex Katakwi has commended Levi Mwanawasa Teaching Hospital for maintaining smooth operations despite facing minor internal challenges that can be resolved within the institution. The minister made the remarks during an impromptu visit to the hospital in Lusaka, where he toured several departments and interacted with staff on duty. He praised management for its proactive approach in ensuring that service delivery to patients remain uninterrupted. Dr. Katakwi urged other health facilities across the country to emulate the hospital's commitment to internal problem solving and efficient management, saying this is key to improving healthcare delivery in Zambia. We have more in the following report.
The Ministry of Health, with what is happening or obtaining in our various hospitals, basically it is to look at the infrastructure, it is to look at the personnel, it is to look at the levels of medicine and many other factors. So here where we have come, I had particular interest in the incinerator to find out what is the status of the incinerator, because this is an important facility also for a hospital like this one. Of course, we have found quite a number of impressive things here at Levi Mwanawasa. I can actually call it as a center of excellency when it comes to the work attitude, the environment, the operations, entirely what it is to provide quality healthcare services. Levi Mwanawasa Hospital stands out. And I want to find out from the medical superintendent here, Dr. Mutemba, how this facility is providing services to the community and to the country Zambia, and also just to give me the status of the incinerator, which is actually here. Tractor and the Zambia Medicine and Medical Supply Authority, ZAMSA. I need to assure the nation that as a working government, we are going to expedite the issues, the bottlenecks, to be resolved as soon as possible. I should state here that as a hospital, we need to prepare within the next 7 days. Within the next 7 days, we should be able to commission this incinerator. Whatever little bottlenecks must be there, whatever, since it is completed and you are saying it is not yet commissioned. So we'll move in, PS and the team, let's move in, get ZAMS on board so that we commission this within 7 days, so that we are able to cut off the cost of engaging the private sector to do the incineration of the bio waste. which is actually a cost on government when the machine has already been procured, completed, and so on. So we'll engage ZAMSA and the contractor Roche so that we know what the issue is.
Tonse Alliance women have appealed to First Lady Mutinta Hichilema to help promote humanity, respect and trust in the way matters involving former President Edgar Lungu are handled. They say their call is aimed at encouraging a more dignified and compassionate approach in public discussions surrounding the former head of state. The group has urged the First Lady to use her influence to foster unity and responsible communication, warning that misinformation and politicization of sensitive issues risk deepening division in the country. They have since called for fairness and respect in national discourse. We have more in the following report.
Press statement. A woman's appeal to our First Lady, Madam Mutinta Hichilema. Restore humanity, respect and truth. Fellow citizens, mothers, fathers, sisters and brothers, I greet you today not as a politician, but as a woman, a wife, and a mother in pain. Ever since the passing of our former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, we, the women of Zambia, have remained painfully silent, as though we have abandoned our sacred duty to stand in solidarity with a fellow woman. Esther Lungu, during this deeply distressing ordeal, our collective voice, which should rise in moments of injustice and grief, has instead faded into absence, and institutions meant to champion women's dignity, such as non-governmental gender organizations, coordinating council, and other women's movements have remained quiet when their presence and advocacy are most needed. I stand before you with a heavy heart, shaken by what has been done to the body of our late President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, a man once entrusted mission, the kind that grips a family when dignity is taken from a loved one. As a wife, I ask, what would I feel if my husband's body was taken, opened, and handled without my knowledge, my consent, or my presence? What has happened is not just political, it is personal, it is cultural, and it is spiritual, striking at the heart of every Zambian family. We are told a postmortem was conducted, yet immediate family was excluded, their lawyers absent, their rights ignored, their voices silenced in most painful moment. What kind of process removes a husband from his wife, a father?
Minister of Labour and Social Security, Dr. Brenda Muika Tamba MP, has called for the creation of healthy psychosocial working environment as a key foundation for productive workers and strong institutions. Speaking in commemoration of the World Day of Safety and Health at Work, Minister Tamba says workplaces must go beyond physical safety and also prioritize mental and emotional well-being of employees. She emphasized that good psychosocial conditions are essential in promoting efficiency, reducing workplace stress, and enhancing overall organizational performance. The minister notes that fostering supportive work environment is a shared responsibility between employers and employees, urging stakeholders to actively implement policies that protect workers' well-being. She reaffirms that government's commitment to promoting safe and healthy workplaces across all sectors, stating that such efforts are vital for national development and productivity. We have more in the following report.
Here on the Copper Belt, Vakopala, we say Zambia Kuchalo. Zambia Kuchalo. Everybody say Zambia Kuchalo. So welcome to Zambia Kuchalo, meaning Zambia to the global community. This is what has happened here today that the DC has referred to. I'd like to welcome you all to this year's commemoration of the World Day for Safety and Health at Work. I am informed that we have received 23 mine rescue teams from 10 countries from all over the world. This speaks to the value that you all place on the role of occupational safety and health in advancing our economies. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this year's commemoration being held under the theme, Good Psychosocial Working Environment, a pathway to thriving workers and strong organizations. This theme is a timely reminder to us that workplace safety and health goes beyond the prevention of workers' exposure to physical hazards, as indicated before, goes beyond work-related psychosocial risks and that pose a major and growing threat to workers' safety and health, organizational productivity, and broader economic performance. It is about action. We will talk about it, but are we acting in the interest of workers to ensure that they are safe beyond the physical, that they are safe mentally? So yes, productivity, everything, and profit for the enterprises. But how do we take care of that human capital that brings that value, that shared value? Ladies and gentlemen, as we reflect on the importance of this day, it is critical that we appreciate the role, the scale of challenges posed by psychosocial risk factors to safety, health, and well-being of our workers. According to the latest estimates released by the ILO in its global report in the year 2026, psychosocial risk factors are responsible for more than 840,000 deaths in Zambia annually. The deaths are due to associated cardiovascular diseases and mental disorders. The ILO reveals that long working hours.
Sean Tembo has unveiled Chanda Katotowe as the presidential candidate for the Patriots for Economic Progress (PEP), marking a significant development in the party's preparation for upcoming elections. Mr. Katotowe, who currently serves as Member of Parliament for Luapula Province, was elected to the National Assembly in 2021 under the Patriotic Front PF ticket. His political trajectory within the PF saw him later declare interest in contesting the party's presidency, a move that came amid growing internal divisions. However, escalating wrangles within the PF appears to have reshaped his political path, culminating in his adoption by PEP as its flag bearer. Mr. Tembo says the decision reflects the party's commitment to presenting experienced leadership to Zambian voters, although further details surrounding the adoption process were not immediately disclosed. The development is expected to add a new dimension to Zambia's political landscape as parties position themselves ahead of the next general elections. We have more in the following reports.
We have a long journey ahead of us. We need to be very resilient and very strong. Okay.
Zambians from across the country have gathered at Praise Christian Center in Lusaka to commemorate the life of the late 6th Republican President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. The memorial event, attended by family members, government officials, church leaders and members of the public, has drawn continuous streams of mourners who are paying their respects and offering messages of condolences to the bereaved family. Speakers at the gathering described the former head of state as a dedicated leader who served the nation with commitment, highlighting his emphasis on unity, peace, and development during his time in office. Church leaders have led prayers and reflection, calling on Zambians to remain united during the period of mourning. The commemoration forms part of nationwide events marking the life and legacy of the former head of state as the country continues to reflect on his contributions to national development. We now take a short break. Still to come is international and sports news. Don't go away.
Governor Space every Thursday at 21 hours on LCM TV. We bring your leaders to account and explain things that they will do for you. Catch the discussion 21 hours on LCM TV. LCM TV, doing it the right way.
Join LCM TV channel, live every Tuesday with court news updates. On Thursday, we go live with environmental updates. Catch us every Saturday as we go live in your community. News on the go with LCM channel. Doing it the right way.
Are you looking for the best aerial cinematography to capture your environment from above in 4K? Well, look no further. At LCM TV, we've got you covered with our professional drone and pilot that will enable you to shoot from unique perspectives We deliver breathtaking shots with different recording modes such as photos, videos, panorama, time-lapse, and many more. For more info, contact the numbers on your screen. Get the best area shots with LCM TV.
Lishima Classic Media, we can brand your brand. From backdrops to roll-up banners, vinyl and PVC banners, gazebo tents, t-shirt printing, flag banners, business cards. Get branded with Lishima Classic Media today, because here at Lishima Classic Media, we're doing it the right way.
At LCM channel, we have great programs for all age group. 80% local content. LCM TV. Doing it the right way.
Hi everyone, my name is Ken WMBO Ken Dumbo, and you're watching Behind the Stars on LCM. So enough is stuff. That's why I'm behind the stars. Anyway, why me that? Always make sure you watch and subscribe.
Are you looking for the best aerial cinematography to capture your environment from above in 4K? Well, look no further. At LCM TV, we've got you covered with our professional drone and pilot that will enable you to shoot from unique perspectives. We deliver breathtaking shots with different recording modes such as photos, videos, panorama, time-lapse, and many more. For more info, contact the numbers on your screen. Get the best area shots with LCM TV. Are you looking for the best aerial cinematography to capture your environment from above in 4K? Well, look no further. At LCM TV, we've got you covered with our professional drone and pilot that will enable you to shoot from unique.
Welcome back, and now in international news. Mali's Defense Minister Sadio Camara reportedly exchanged gunfire with armed terrorists before being killed during coordinated attacks over the weekend, according to government spokesperson Brigadier General Issa Osman Coulibaly. Speaks as Minister of Territorial Administration and Decentralization, says Camara was involved in active combat during the assault, which targeted multiple locations in what authorities described as a coordinated militant operation. The government has not yet released detailed circumstances surrounding the incident, but confirmed that the attacks involved armed groups engaging security forces in several areas. Officials say further information would be communicated as investigations continue. The reported death of the defense minister marks a significant escalation in the country's ongoing security crisis, where armed insurgent groups have continued to carry out attacks despite military operations aimed at restoring stability. Authorities have urged the public to remain calm as security forces pursue those responsible. We have more in the following reports.
Outside the military camp in Kidal in northern Mali, Russian mercenaries, once feared and portrayed as powerful, driven out after surrendering their weapons to local Tuareg rebels and armed groups linked to Al-Qaeda. Watching, the Tuaregs wave the flag of Azawad, the homeland they want to create in northern Mali. It appears armed groups are achieving what many in Europe are struggling to do: force Russian fighters to retreat.
This Azawadi army is returning to its homeland. We welcome the people here and call on Azawadi people in refugee camps to return. We have driven out Mali and Russian corps.
On Saturday, Al-Qaeda-linked fighters and Tuareg forces launched coordinated attacks across Mali, from Sevare and Gao to Kidal, Bamako, and Kati, the garrison town where Mali's leadership is based. A Malian military source told Al Jazeera that Defense Minister Sadio Camara was killed after a suicide truck packed with explosives struck his home. Camara helped drive French forces out and bring Russian fighters in. He was one of the architects of Mali's new war strategy. Now the man who helped build that strategy is dead. The transitional president is alive, but his whereabouts are being kept secret. Mali's junta leaders appear to be in hiding as sporadic gun battles continue.
Well, I wouldn't say afraid, but I am surprised, astonished and taken aback given the scale of the attack.
The war is no longer asymmetrical. The war is now symmetrical. The enemy no longer hides. It comes out in the open, and the enemy is no longer afraid. So we will have to adapt, because if these terrorists can get past all the checkpoints and make it all the way to Kati into the camps, that's frightening.
In Kidal, Malian soldiers surrender the camp. A major defeat for Mali's army, a victory for armed groups. And for Malians, the fear that this war has entered a new and more dangerous phase. Nicholas Hawk, Al Jazeera.
That marks the end of the main news bulletin. We take a look at the headlines. Katekwa commends Levi Mwanawasa Teaching Hospital for strong internal management. Tonse Alliance women appeal to First Lady over handling of matters involving former President Edgar Lungu. Zambians gather in Lusaka to commemorate former President Lungu. Tamba calls for strong psychosocial work environment to boost productivity. Tembo unveils Katotobwe as PEP presidential candidate amid PF fallout. Mali Defense Minister reportedly died in weekend terror attack, government says. That marks the end of the main news bulletin. Be sure to join us on Wednesday at 18 hours. On behalf of the entire LCM news production crew, my name is Precious Piri. Good evening.